Now at 10, a teen in the hospital after a shooting in West Valley City. A witness sharing what she saw and heard. Plus,
we had lost a brother and a best friend.
A family in mourning after a deadly accident with a car that may have been an autopilot. How they're honoring the victim's memory. And one man is doing it all by working 3 jobs. Find out how this first responder balances his time in tonight's Behind the Badge.
We're going to hear what they have to say, and we're going to pursue justice for those victims.
Now at 10, a former mayor and bishop arrested on allegations of sexual abuse. What charges he's facing. Plus, a tragic accident on the interstate leaving a 6-year-old boy dead and 3 other people in the hospital. Troopers' message for drivers tonight. And a $5 million project is bringing affordable housing to Utah. How to know if you qualify for these homes.
Big plumes of smoke come out.
Now at 10, firefighters still working to contain the valley fire that caused some evacuations. An update on the latest conditions in a live report. Plus, Utah's latest push to prevent suicide. Why a new program is turning to Instagram to help those struggling with mental health. And
what's going on? Well, I'm Officer Carlson. Pulled you over for speeding back there. Can I get your license and registration, please?
An inside look into the rigorous training at the State Police Academy. See what happens when one of our own is put to the test.
Good evening. We are interrupting your regularly scheduled programming tonight with breaking news. You might smell smoke in the air. There are a lot of fires to tell you about in Utah, one rapidly growing in Tooele County and some others causing evacuations as well. We've got a map for you, giving you a sense of where the major fires across Utah are burning tonight. We also have a live look tonight at the Jacob City fire in Tooele. Take a look at that plume of smoke. That Jacob City fire is now 2,100 acres and growing. Evacuations are happening for campers in the Middle Canyon area. If you smell smoke right now, it's very likely from that fire because it is just 4 miles from the Salt Lake County line. That's not the only one to tell you about. Cache County, where 15 to 20 structures are threatened. This is an active fire. It's about 3 miles from Logan. It's called the Sardine Fire. 10 homes are evacuated there. And we are going to take a live picture in Millard County for you, where the Halfway Hill fire near Fillmore, it is now burning more than 6,000 acres. Erratic wind gusts have hampered the firefight today, and you can just see some of those smoke plumes from the area there. We have our ABC4's Kayla Baggerly now live with the latest. And Kayla, what are conditions like on the ground?
Yeah, Nick, here in Fillmore, it's really quite windy and it's been very hot all day in the triple digits. And those conditions definitely playing into the spread of this fire you see right behind me. This is the Halfway Hill fire, which started around 2 yesterday, spreading quite quickly. It was at about 1,000 acres last night and hit over 6,600 acres today. I talked with residents who said they're heartbroken to see this. Evacuations are still in place near Fillmore. I've been told that this is an area with a lot of cabins, but there are 3 permanent residents up there. Fire officials saying that they're working to protect communities as well as habitat for wildlife. I was told that this fire was human caused, and fire officials are wanting to remind people to be safe as they're making their summer plans, especially when we see red flag warnings like we have been this weekend. Nick, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Kayla. We now also have a live look from Salt Lake. This is from the doTERRA camera downtown, and you can just see the plume of smoke coming in from the Jacob City fire. You can see it, you can smell it, and we've shown you images around the state. So that is the last look we're going to give you for those fires burning across our state tonight. We're going to continue to keep you updated. You can see the map right there on all of these fires throughout the evening, right here on ABC4 and, of course, on ABC4.com. We'll now return to your regular programming. And good evening. We are breaking into your regularly scheduled programming once again to tell you about wildfires. Now, if you've seen smoke and ash floating over the Salt Lake Valley, you might be wondering, what is going on? What am I smelling? Where's it coming from? Tonight, 3 major fires to tell you about, including one in Tooele County with more than 2,100 acres burned. ABC4's Curtis Booker is live for us now. Curtis, this is being called the Jacob City Fire, and it is 4 miles from the Salt Lake County line.
Yeah, that's right, Nick. I was at a movie with my family in Draper, and we came out of that movie theater parking lot, and we could see the smoke all across the Salt Lake City Valley. And What you see behind me is what is going on. The Jacob City Fire, Utah Fire Info saying this has burned just over 2,000. As a matter of fact, close to 2,500 acres so far. We do know evacuations are in place for people in the area, in the Middle Canyon area. This is just outside of the Stockton City area here in Tooele County. So we're going to be out here all night long. Once again, that Jacob City Fire. If you're in Salt Lake County, if you're seeing smoke, wondering what's going on, that's because it's coming from right here. We are also learning that this may have been started by a generator. Jacob City Fire, Tooele County is where we're at in Stockton. We're going to be here all night long. We'll have more for you coming up at 10. It's Curtis Booker live in Tooele County on ABC4 News.
Thank you, Curtis. You can hear the chopper roaring ahead, and obviously above there's bright skies, very windy conditions throughout the state today, and quite dry. So we're going to tell you about other fires as well. This is the Cache County area where 15 to 20 structures are threatened. You can see the smoke there on the right-hand part of your screen. It's an active fire about 3 miles from Logan called the Sardine Fire. 10 homes evacuated there. And we have a live picture for you in Millard County into the Fillmore area. You can see all that smoke on the horizon. This is the Halfway Hill Fire near Fillmore, burning more than 6,000 acres tonight. Some erratic wind gusts have hampered the firefight today. We know there are evacuations ongoing since yesterday. You can see how smoky the skies are getting there. Now from Salt Lake, you can see a time lapse. Here is what those skies look like from the doTERRA camera in downtown Salt Lake. Appears to be blowing in there from the Jacob City Fire. One last look here. Here's a map. This is where those 3 major fires are burning across our state tonight. We'll continue to keep you updated on what's going on in Tooele County, especially right here on ABC4 and on our website, abc4.com. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
In Salt Lake City, 3 rollover crashes in less than 24 hours. Now police have a warning for drivers. Yesterday morning, police say a driver running a red light hit another car, forcing it to roll over. A few hours later, an SUV flipping at 3rd West and 5th South. Police say the driver made an improper left turn and was hit by a pickup truck. And today, a BMW rolling near 11th North and Twickenham Drive. Police say, according to the driver, they looked down, hit a rock, and then crashed. Luckily, in all 3 of these crashes, police say no one was seriously injured. ABC4's Curtis Booker joining us live in downtown Salt Lake City tonight, where one of those crashes happened. Curtis, you're speaking with police today. What are they saying about these crashes?
Well, Glenn, they say all 3 of these crashes have one thing in common. That's distracted driving.
This is the Republican primary there. David Leavitt, the incumbent, appears to be on his way out. Challenger Jeff Gray coming in strong tonight with 72% of that vote. As I mentioned, the Utah County race really has been getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, in recent weeks, controversy surrounding David Leavitt and Utah County Sheriff Mike Smith. Now, Leavitt called for an investigation into Sheriff Smith, claiming Smith made outlandish accusations of Leavitt participating in a ritualistic sex ring and cannibalism. ABC4's Lena Takata joining us live from Utah County with reaction to the results tonight. Lena.
Here tonight, a soggy situation in southern Utah. Here's a look at the loads of rain they saw this evening. All right, this video from Mall Drive in St. George. You can see it and hear that rain coming down, causing reduced visibility for some, even in parts. And we're seeing more thunderstorms in other parts of southern Utah tonight. For the latest on conditions, let's head right over to meteorologist Thomas Kiboy in for Alana Brophy.
And Thomas, this is a lot of rain in 2 days for an area that hasn't even seen rain in some 3 months.
Yeah, before yesterday.
South Carolina's women's basketball coach says she is standing by her decision to cancel games with BYU. This in response to BYU saying its investigation is complete and they found no evidence of a racial slur being said at a recent volleyball game. The school says they spoke to more than 50 people who attended the match on August 26th and are now lifting the ban on the fan who was accused of yelling racist comments.
And in a statement, BYU Athletic Director Tom Holimo says in part, quote, BYU and BYU Athletics are committed to zero tolerance of racism, and we strive to provide a positive experience for everyone who attends our athletic events, including student athletes, coaches, and fans, where they are valued and respected. Duke University, on the other hand, says they're standing by their players, releasing this statement. The 18 members of Duke University volleyball team are exceptionally strong women who represent themselves, their families, and Duke University with utmost integrity. We unequivocally stand with and champion them, especially when their character is called into question. Okay, so let's take a look at the latest statement from South Carolina's women's basketball head coach, Dawn Staley. She says, "I continue to stand by my position. After my personal research, I made a decision for the well-being of my team. I regret that my university, my athletics director, Ray Tanner, and others got drawn into the criticism on a decision that I made." And we wanted to know what you thought about Staley's decision. So we have a poll going on right now on our Facebook page, and this is the latest look at it. You can see the results. 62% saying yes, they agree with the coach, and 38% saying no. So let us know what you think by heading to our Facebook page at ABC4 Utah.
K-pop, K-drama, K-movies taking over. It's time for K-food to take over the world.
Okay, well, you just heard from the owners themselves appearing on Shark Tank. It's going to be airing tonight right here on ABC4. If you don't know, Cup-Up is a Korean barbecue restaurant based in Utah, and their unique menu and style of providing customer service will be soon getting attention around the country. And right now, we have both of them here on the red couches with us right now. We've got Dok Kwong and Jung Sung joining us, the owners of Cup-Up. How you two?
Great!
Yeah,
that's the energy we bring, that's right.
Okay, if someone's living under a rock and they don't know what Cup-Up is, quickly tell us. I feel like you're everywhere. You're in every arena, but just kind of quickly tell us who you are.
To summarize, we are Korean barbecue in a cup.
This big plumes of smoke come out.
Now at 10, firefighters still working to contain the valley fire that caused some evacuations. An update on the latest conditions in a live report. Plus, Utah's latest push to prevent suicide. Why a new program is turning to Instagram to help those struggling with mental health. And
What's going on? Well, I'm Officer Carlson. Pulled you over for speeding back there. Can I get your license and registration, please?
an inside look into the rigorous training at the State Police Academy. See what happens when one of our own is put to the test.
Live, we're there for you. ABC4 News at 10 starts now.
And welcome to the ABC4 News at 10 o'clock. I'm Emily Flores.
And I'm Glenn Mills. Thanks so much for joining us. We do have team coverage tonight on this extreme September heat. Meteorologist Thomas Gieboy standing by with the very latest on the record-breaking temperatures.
Yes, but first, let's check in with ABC4's Courtney Johns live in Ogden with the latest on an evacuation situation after a grass fire there. Tough conditions for firefighters this evening, Courtney.
Yeah, Emily, we just saw a flare up about 15-20 minutes ago. I'm on Valley Drive, and when we were driving in, we saw it. You can see it behind me right now. They've been working to put it out for at least the last 20 minutes. An evacuation order was lifted around 9 today, but you can see crews are still working hard to contain that fire. Now, 9 acres have burned so far, and what you're looking at right there is the video that we captured about 20 minutes ago when we rolled up around on Valley Drive. Fortunately, no buildings have been reported damaged at this time, but firefighters did have to evacuate 30 homes, which translated to about 80 people who were taking shelter at a church. But as we mentioned, that evacuation order has since been lifted. People who we spoke to who live in the area say they can't remember the last time they saw something like this in their neighborhood.
This is the closest fire I've ever had to my own living situation. And actually, as we speak, we're seeing a little bit of a spark up here. This is kind of nuts.
Yeah, and crews say fighting this fire is tough, and it's impossible to escape the heat we're dealing with right now. One firefighter telling us between the hills, the cheatgrass, and the heavy timber, they have extra challenges out here. At one point, 3 helicopters were helping put out this fire. We asked crews how long they think it will take to put out this fire. Here's what they said.
I would anticipate days. The stuff that got into the heavy timbers will have to get the saws out and cut into some of those heavy timbers. So I would anticipate we're going to be here for a couple of days.
And those crews will continue working through the night. They said at least 10 people will be on the scene at all times in the evening trying to contain this fire. And another thing that they said has been an issue this evening is the wind. Over here, it's relatively calm, but on the other side where we were stationed earlier, the wind was incredibly hectic. So that is another issue that firefighters are trying to handle right now. Reporting live in Ogden, Courtney Johns, ABC 4 News.
All right, thank you, Courtney. And that's what everyone is talking about today. Triple degree temperatures in September just shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, some temperatures we haven't even seen in the month of September ever before. Meteorologist Thomas Giboy in for Alana Brophy tonight with the very latest on what's going on outside. Thomas.
Yeah, Emily, so far this month we have broken the all-time September high temperature record 4 different times. Today included in that. We got to 105 this afternoon. There were some reports that we got to 106, and it looks like the station that we measured from Salt Lake City International Airport measured 106, but a rounding error is what resulted in a daytime high of 105. But it doesn't matter. At 105 or 106, that is still way too hot for this time of year, and we shattered the all-time daily record of 98 degrees. It's also, again, the hottest day we've ever measured in the month of September, and the hottest temperature we've ever recorded in Salt Lake City, 107. We were only a couple of degrees away from that, and relative humidity values in Salt Lake City were ranging around 10% all day, and it's the 33rd 100-degree plus day of the year. We've seen 8 days now in a row of 100 degree. The current record is 10, so we could get close to that, if not tie that, by the time we get into Thursday. And we've also broken a record for 8 straight days in Salt Lake City. The previous record before this year was 4 times, so we're just breaking records left and right. But at least those temperatures are finally starting to come down. 87 degrees currently in Salt Lake City. It's still very warm for this time of the evening. And tomorrow we're going to see daytime highs very similar compared to what we saw today, right around 105. But notice Thursday and Friday, there is some relief in sight. We will see some stronger winds, so we could have some additional fire concerns, but temperatures will start to at least be a little bit better going into this upcoming weekend. And we'll break down all those details and what it means for you coming up in your forecast in just a few minutes. Glenn, Emily.
All right. Thank you, Thomas. Well, new at 10, the Salt Lake City School District saying they are moving forward with mediation. This after Superintendent Dr. Timothy Gadsden has been on leave since July. At tonight's meeting, district leaders announcing the school board and Dr. Gadsden are continuing with mediation. We're told the step is part of Dr. Gadsden's contract, where if a dispute arises, mediation is required. Now, the school board also explaining what happens if mediation does not work.
This process is still ongoing, but if any board action is necessary after the mediation is concluded, that action will be taken in a public meeting.
Now, the school district has been tight-lipped about why Dr. Gadsden was placed on leave now months ago. And tonight, Salt Lake City police arresting the 3rd suspect in the Salt Palace murder investigation. Officers arresting 18-year-old Nagolit Kug for allegedly shooting and killing 41-year-old Dilliford Kug. Police believe Kug and Knight, I should correct that, got in an argument over money. Kug has been booked into the Salt Lake County Jail on the 1 count of murder and 1 count of aggravated robbery.
The ATF teaming up with Orem police to offer a $5,000 reward for any information on a suspected arson at the Orem Temple. That temple was damaged by the fire back in July as flames broke out on the top floor, which is under construction. Investigators now believe someone set that fire. If you have any information, contact the ATF.
And a new statewide effort is underway to prevent suicide and help those struggling with mental health. It's a 10-lesson course created by local mental health experts designed to help as many Utahns as possible. ABC4's Jordan Burrows has more on how Utahns can get the help they need.
We've been searching for answers on this issue for years.
The answer could not have come at a better time.
The loss associated with suicide is really complicated.
The latest data shows almost every Utahn reports they have been impacted by suicide.
It's a complicated type of grief, and we often find ourselves asking, what could I have done? Or is there anything I could have done?
A new first-of-its-kind suicide prevention 10-lesson course promises to help Utahns figure out those questions.
This program was developed because suicide is a tough conversation.
It was a conversation that helped inspire Live On Utah.
For what seemed like forever, I sat there cradling.
Father of 3, Joe Tuiahana, was taking his girls to a basketball game when he noticed a young man climbing the barricades on I-15 near Lehigh back in January.
Cradling this young man in my arms.
He said his fatherly sense took over and something seemed wrong.
And we cried together. All I could muster through my tears was, I love you, bro. I love you.
Tuiahana says nothing else was spoken between them. No questions, no explanations, no preaching.
But this moment changed my life forever.
His life, the young man's life, and both their families' lives changed forever. Live on Utah promises to live up to that. Utahns are already commenting on the Instagram page. Comments like, want to feel prepared, know how to be helpful, and avoid saying hurtful things. Or this one from a high school psychology teacher. I think this will be very helpful in knowing ways to help my students learn tools to help talk to adults or friends about suicide.
My suicide prevention experience was a once in a million, probably once in 10 million experience. The timing was miraculous, but suicide prevention doesn't usually look that way.
It's about checking in, where to turn, how to ask tough questions, and showing empathy and compassion to the people around us. That's something Tuiahana says men, especially fathers, need to understand.
No more hiding. I'm with you, dads. I'm with all of you. I love you, bro.
Reporting in Salt Lake City, Jordan Burrows, ABC4 News.
Coming up on tonight's Behind the Badge, a first-hand look at the rigorous training police cadets go through, and we'll find out if one of our own would have